Stop for a second and imagine a country where you never need to pay for a house, never worry about tuition, and never pay a hospital bill in your entire life. Asterisk sounds like a perfect system, right? Asterisk. But what if behind that paradise lies a completely different reality? Today, let's uncover the real story of Cuba. Learn about a country every day. Cuba is one of the very few places in the world where ordinary people do not need to take out mortgages. There is no down payment, no lifelong burden of buying a house. Most people are allocated housing by the state, and the cost of living in that house is extremely low. After paying rent continuously for 18 years, the ownership of the house can even be transferred to the individual. The system strictly prohibits real estate speculation. And housing standards are unified with no distinction between officials and ordinary citizens. Even basic repairs are often the responsibility of the government. Education in Cuba is also completely free from preschool, all the way to doctoral level. Tuition is free, textbooks are free, even school uniforms and meals are provided by the state. For students in remote areas, accommodation, bedding, and transportation are all covered. College students receive a fixed monthly allowance that does not need to be repaid. After graduation, jobs are assigned by the state, ensuring employment stability. In some cases, teachers working in rural areas even earn more than those in cities. With additional subsidies for housing and transportation, the gap between urban and rural education has been largely eliminated. Healthcare is another pillar of this system. In Cuba, all medical services are completely free. There are no registration fees, no hidden costs, no out-of-pocket payments. Even serious illnesses, long-term treatments, and rare diseases are fully covered by the state, with no personal spending cap. The country has one of the most accessible healthcare systems in the world. On average, every 120 to 150 households are assigned a family doctor and a community nurse. Within a 15-minute walk, there is always a local medical point available. Basic treatments, chronic disease management, and preventive care are easily accessible, and doctors can even provide free home visits. Even the smallest and most remote villages are not excluded from this coverage. Cuba also maintains a long-standing rationing system, similar to historical systems in other countries. Residents receive basic necessities such as rice, beans, oil, sugar, and eggs at extremely low prices through state-run stores. This ensures that the entire population can meet basic survival needs. Poor families can receive additional material support and even cash assistance. Employment in Cuba is dominated by state-owned enterprises. Jobs are assigned by the state, and once employed, individuals typically enjoy lifelong job security. There is no mass layoff system, no performance-based elimination, and no fear of unemployment due to competition. Salaries are standardized under a national system. Whether someone works harder or less, whether they perform better or worse, the monthly salary remains nearly the same. There are no performance bonuses and no KPI pressure. The difference in income between a university professor and a hotel cleaner is often less than 20%. Promotions bring more responsibility, but only minimal increases in income because of this system. Wealth inequality in Cuba is extremely low. There is no culture of showing off wealth, no widespread anxiety about financial success, and very little social pressure to compete for material gains. Most people live at a similar standard. As a result, overtime work is rare. In recent years, due to energy shortages, some non-core state sectors have even implemented a 4-day workweek. By law, every worker is entitled to at least 30 days of paid annual leave. And those with longer service can receive up to 45 days or more. In certain high-risk or remote jobs, additional leave is granted. On paper, this looks like one of the most relaxed work-life systems in the world. From a system design perspective, Cuba appears to be close to an ideal society. Housing, healthcare, education, and employment are all guaranteed. But reality tells a very different story in practice. More than 70% of a Cuban household's income is spent on food. The cost of living relative to income is extremely high, and the quality of life is low. Chronic shortages of goods have become normal. Between 2020 and 2024, more than 1 million Cubans left the country. Many of them young people and highly educated professionals such as doctors, engineers, and university professors. Despite having a fully free healthcare system, hospitals often lack basic medicines and supplies. Out of over 1,200 essential medicines officially listed, only about 300 are consistently available. Shortages of antibiotics, painkillers, and chronic disease medications exceed 70%. Medical equipment is outdated, sometimes dating back decades. Basic supplies like gloves and gauze are reused repeatedly. Power outages affect hospital operations, and patients often need to find medicines themselves through black markets or relatives abroad. Education may be free, but the outcome is not always promising. Many highly educated individuals end up leaving their professions because the income is too low. A university professor or doctor may earn the equivalent of only a few dollars per month at real exchange rates, while service jobs in tourism can earn significantly more through tips. It is not uncommon to see highly educated professionals working in hotels, restaurants, or as tour guides simply to survive. Housing, while theoretically guaranteed, is also facing serious issues. There is a nationwide shortage of hundreds of thousands of homes, and a large percentage of buildings are in poor condition. Due to limited resources, the government cannot keep up with repairs. Many families live in deteriorating houses and must find their own ways to fix them, often without proper materials. Food distribution systems only cover basic needs for a short period each month. For the remaining days, people must rely on expensive markets. Many families reduce their meals, rarely consume meat, and struggle to make ends meet. Savings are minimal, and daily survival becomes the priority. Income in Cuba, when measured by real purchasing power, is extremely low. The official salary figures do not reflect reality. In the actual economy, influenced by black market exchange rates, average monthly income can be shockingly small. This creates a situation where access to foreign currency becomes the key factor determining quality of life. Families with relatives abroad or access to tourism-related income live relatively better, while others remain trapped in poverty. Even the iconic classic cars of Cuba tell a deeper story. Most of these cars are decades old, heavily modified, and kept running through creativity and necessity. They are not luxury collectibles, but essential tools for survival, used as taxis, shared transport, and family vehicles. They represent both the resilience and hardship of everyday life. Cuba is not a simple story of success or failure. It is not purely a utopia, nor is it entirely a disaster. It is a complex reality shaped by decades of external pressure, internal policies, and the determination of its people to survive under extreme conditions. So now the question is, would you choose a system with complete security but limited opportunity, or one with freedom but constant pressure? If you found this video insightful, make sure to like, subscribe, leave your thoughts in the comments, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the next story.